morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke. Today being Ahn Shi with Rev Kenichi Ito, and today is also Friday, the 23rd of July and the 14th of June in the 9th year of Chongalguk. So let's begin with a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe. Haro. And let's offer our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족만세 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 춘신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 선자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 2. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and True Parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. And this morning, like to ask Na in New Zealand if she could offer the opening prayer, please.
Let's pray. Our dearest Heavenly Parents, true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, we're so grateful for each breath of our life and for each member and for each child that you have created. Thank you for, of course, the sacrifice and the life that Jesus had and the life of the early Christians. And today, of course, our true parents. We really pray for all our special advisors, Father, and regional leaders and national leaders, Father, and especially for our true mother also at this time, her desire to restore the new Israel, Korea, the reunification of North and South. Heavenly Parent, I pray that we can be ready, Father. We can really align with their heart in practical ways and also internal. Thank you for John's leadership in this, and Reverend Yamada's leadership in this Oceania Hundoke every morning, Father, that we can really work towards finding the way towards unity and the beginning point of unity for the world and perhaps for Korea as well. Thank you, and pray that you can speak through Reverend Ito and touch each of our brothers and sisters' heart, and for your blessing for today and their most beloved names, and bless central families, I pray. Aju.
Aju. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. And let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Ito as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, all leaders around the Oceania, national leaders, and Reverend Yutaka, and all the staff member and the New Zealand, Australia, island nations, and so on, the second generation, and together, we are one family of Oceania. Today, suddenly, yesterday, Reverend Yutaka called me and do this Hundoke. So I am not so enough preparation. So if some not enough, please sorry for you. Anyway, I do my best today. My main theme is, why God and true parents send us as a missionary. Yeah, of course we know to distribute God's word evangelization of divine principle, Father's tradition, etc. We know, but if we go to the real, in the Sahara Desert, for example, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, or in the, Siberia, cold place, this is a different than what we study in the lecture room. Yeah. So by this, I faced this pioneer. So by this today, I want to share my experience and research and how to, what this mean, why we need to go to the missionary work. Okay, can I see? Can you see? Quest for God, the meaning of world missionary mission.
And if you can run the show, so you can, yeah, you just
Can see?
You can see the slide, not the whole show. Yeah.
Oh, not yet.
No, I need to run the show.
Not yet. Like this.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. First, we read Father's Word by Johnson Gill. We must liberate God. To complete the providence of restoration, we must restore all levels that were not completed. This includes the level Adam could not attain after the fall, and the level Jesus Christ was unable to reach. All of these we have to explain, indemnify, and restore in the context of our present time. This is the mission of the Unification Church. I have to fulfill them myself, and I have to lead all the Unification Church members worldwide who follow me to do the same. This is my mission. So a little bit. We have to liberate God. This involves the number 4. After the Old, New, and Complete Testament age, there will come the era of liberation from sorrow. When the era of liberation from sorrow comes, we must offer everything. It does not mean that God will receive everything and keep it all for himself. Rather, he will hand it over to Adam. After Adam receives it, he will give it back to God. And then God will hand it back to Adam. To true parents, from that point, they will begin to distribute the right of ownership back to us. When we receive it and take ownership, we will be able to enter the era of the kingdom unity. These are necessary steps for realization of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Some people pray, "Oh God of glory, please give me blessings." But God is not in that position. On the contrary, he is in misery, suffering, in confinement. God is in such a sorrowful situation because he has no true sons and daughters, and only through their birth can he be liberated. That is why we must become true sons and daughters in order to liberate God. Unless we do so, the way of heaven cannot be properly secured, and the ideal world cannot be established on earth. This has been the mission of Unification Church during the course of its history. That mission is to correct what went wrong. Unification Church members are working as a unit for God's liberation. We are not talking about liberating the world. Liberating the world is rather easy. Liberating the world merely requires bringing people and the nation together. But liberating God requires unity of heart. For this, we need the principle, which is the system of thought that can unite the realm of love. We have to untangle the entangled relationship in the spirit world and build the bridge of heart on earth. It's a revolution more fearsome and difficult than any other. This is why I said that liberating humanity is easy compared to liberating God. It simply amazed me that I have become the standard bearer for tackling a task unprecedented in this world. It is remarkable that I have been able to provide answers to the fundamental issues of providential history. This explains anyway about the Father's word. Really, God is not stay high position, but miserable because he lost beloved son and daughters and ownership itself. So we must all restore and back to God. Otherwise, God's heart never liberated. So God is always searching for such a person. And Unification Church, especially Unification Church member, is that member. So by this point of view, we see, our missionary mission. When we are, I'm one of the first world missionary in 1975. At the time, I was 26 years old and just graduated my university. And, accidentally, I was same university of Father's University, Waseda, and I entered the, philosophy club. Then that was, and Japanese J Cup, and I joined by this, and before become a missionary, for 5 years, I spent the time as a CUP member. That main situation is, I'm originally like a Buddhist, well, not Buddhist anyway, searching for some truth, philosophy, literature, etc. I go to church also, but mostly I read detail of Old Testament. Especially, I love the Samuel. When Samuel anointed Saul as a king of Israel, then Saul couldn't accomplish the mission and moved to the David, and David to the Solomon. So I like this, story is very, because this is some kind of national issue. When my mission come to the Africa, treat one nation, exactly same. My mission is like a Samuel's mission to anoint the future king, like a president, to restore. So let's see the, my mission in first is Burkina Faso missionary. In Burkina Faso, located in West Africa, one of the poorest country, 1975. At that time, even go to the library, we cannot find, the information so much. At the time, there's no internet. So we go to the library in Tokyo and find out, and only many years ago, 10 years ago. And also I go to NHK broadcast because there was some broadcast, made some article, especially become people become blind, some region of the Burkina Faso. There's some mosquito make people blind, So I met the journalist, and journalist said, "Oh, you go to such a country? This is not even like one country." Say like this. Anyway, that era is 1975 era is, the end of the war, the Vietnam War, and also the era of leftist student movement. And also Japan is still not economically giant yet at the time. Then our Unification Church still not yet worldwide level so much. Then Father declare for the first time, this is a 1975 is the departure of a third 7-year course, worldwide course. Shows us those who graduate or minimum enter the university level in Japan, and also American and the German together, for this is the 3 nation who mostly economically developed after World War II, and there was a fierce enemy in World War II, Japan, United States, and the German and the United States, fierce battle. So enemy in our father's generation. So enemy kids, together, like educated by two parents, become a missionary and work together in the same mission country. So that's what I spent 1975, and amazing in 1997, I mean, the 21 years spent such a place. Yeah. Then I got, at the end of this mission, I go to, especially after Soviet fall, got a mission in Russia. This is also amazing, another mission, another, exciting or special, occasion to see the inside of the Soviet Union, inside of the communist system, everything, and also met Russian people, yeah, and many things, societies, religions, and many nature, of course. And then after finish, 21 years missionary, and we receive award. Those who completed 21 years missionary become receive a mission award. Not everybody, the severe selection, those even some few months, not completed, couldn't chosen, as, award person. And fortunately, I was awarded and become a national messiah after then, and come to another amazing mission, That was a champion and 40 days training. And after 7 days fast, every day we go to mountain and together, my wife together. My wife was, stomach cancer, very skinny. Always I push her to climb the mountain, And after finish, now lottery coming, and the region I doesn't want to go is Oceania. I'm sorry to say, because Oceania is not so much members. But when I exactly this is Oceania, Marshall Island, I never heard this name. But Rev Clark said, no, President come for the Federation of Island Nation, like this, to encourage me. Anyway, I went to by this started mission in the Marshall Island, 1997, and went there, and actually already more than 20 years has passed. So to go to back side story of, why this world mission coming, we see, let's see the True Parents course, 1945, 1951, after Korean liberation, and father's first, this is a 7-year course, but he was because of Christianity couldn't, so the postponed. And in 1951, 1971, was a family level, or not so, sorry to say. 1971, 1991 course in USA. Anyway, 1992 Messianic Declaration. This is the when the 30,000 couple blessing, and I was there exactly, and the World Culture and Sport Festival time, Father suddenly declared that I am a Messiah through parents. And 1999, Satan was surrendered, special occasion. And 2001, January 13, right after Father visited Marshall Island, and Father went to the Hawaii and then the Latin America, and fishing together with Hyojinim. After 40 days conditional Hyojinim, and Father the forgiveness, especially for the fault of second generation. Then Father come back to Korea and they made this ceremony, God's coronation ceremony. And 2006, the Cheonjeongun Palace, entrance. And 2013, after Father passed away, Foundation Day with True Mother. And as you see, this is the 7-year course completed. And Mother made declaration of childhood. So now, what I want to share with you today is why Father asked us to go to the mission. unknown place, like a pioneer. This is the first pioneer. When I'm now 26 years old at the time, and and only one time I use airplane. For the first time, blessing. Then second time is fly from Japan to all the way to Africa. Everything our own responsibility to economy. We do fundraising, and also we have a few months education, divine principle, and VOC, victory over communism, and the world situation. The expert come from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and this person is, and originally he made a secret agent. He was a spy to the North Korea. That person, real spy, and teach us how to, many techniques when you are absent. If somebody visit your house, your room, and open, to find out, and when you go to the restaurant or cafe, where you're sitting, you should sit face to the door so that somebody who is coming, something like this. Many education and he analyzed world situation, political and situation, especially for security reason, and the mark, red mark, very dangerous place, and yellow mark, and some mark, very dangerous place is completely like a terrorist, communist, and and also some Islamic country is also, we cannot be, bring like a Christian divine principle book. So everything put in the head, go to the, divine, go Islamic countries, etc. But we never visited foreign countries. I'm Japanese, just student, never visit. So we just only, exciting. Oh, we go to the overseas, like this, But we don't know, what is going on in the future. When Father saw us, in the Japan headquarters, and everybody one by one determined as a dispatch to the mission countries, Father is really smiling, interesting. Wow, like this person's fortune, will be determined like this. We don't know what this means. And at the time, and also there's American also that decided in centering upon president of at the time of American church, and also German church also present together, and they also prepare. And the Father said, to Japanese, Western is the one time they start moving, they never stop. Yeah, I can imagine. Yes, Hitler's soldier, something like this, and like a machine going like this. I can imagine, but cannot understand what this means. Anyway, after the preparation, we go to the mission countries. Anyway, what Father told to the missionary is, you must be ancestor of that nation. And what does this mean? Because we are the first one who brought gospel of, the second was a divine principle, complete testament age gospel, divine principle, and the Europeans tradition. That's why everything what we do become a standard. In the sense, we're ancestor with that nation. And gave testimony how you could love one person. This is after 5 years, when in 1980, Father the 60th anniversary time, all missionary gather in New York hotel, and Father said, you may give testimony how you could love one person. Father never asking how many person you restore, but how you could love one person. For example, Japanese, American, and how German, like this. If there's no American or German missionary, even put a native member, consider like American. So that time, Father want to indemnify World War II, the indemnity in each nation. In reality, Japanese character and the USA and American, the German, everybody very strong character. American is very #1 country. German is, Hitler's soldier, and also the lady who come missionary, Hitler's father was Hitler's soldier. And the German also great culture who made Beethoven and Hegel, Kant, the very historical great, brain and turn the history. And Japanese also like a kamikaze type. The Japanese strong, like this spirit. So if there was 3 nations, World War II enemy, and economically develop those country after World War II, if unite in that mission country, heavenly fortune will coming down. Now, Father mentioned. So, but in reality, first 3 years to 5 years, everywhere fighting, struggling. So, in the World Mission Department also, Japanese representative and the American representative and the German representative, they receive report, Japanese from Japan, Japanese missionary, American from American missionary, and we are struggling, and the American said, you Japanese missionary is very bad too. My colleague American said. The German also said same way. Japanese, you this American guy was very bad, something, etc. Even it's better to tell to their wife, his wife, something like this. So even World Mission Department, they quarrel. And every country, all mission country is struggling, fighting. Japanese, American, and the American German is not so much, maybe, because something similar character. And the German is rather quiet. Looks like a quiet. Because the German missionary was very young, spiritually, physically, 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, and also spiritually just 8 months, even not 1 year, but, become a world missionary. It's amazing, strong character. Fourth, you try to witness one person minimum 3 months. This is my experience. I find out Father's word, But even then, there are no result. You move to other person on the other area and focus them. But you continue to contact former person. Anyway, I try to contact, one person. I go to the university, stay there, and every time I contact the student, the library, and to witness, but couldn't. Yeah, and so I find Father's word like this, yeah. If no result, must think about not only just Chonsong, sincerity, but need some like a strategy, to change the strategy, etc. 5, I send necessary moment, necessary person to overseas. This is the Father's word. Why, when we gather in New York in 1980, Father dispatched the special American missionary. American missionary was, big, in the future, big leader, But Father sent those necessary big leader, future leader to oversee. Yeah. But Father need originally, because Father made a Day of Hope speech and the Washington Monument and the rally, many things happened after dispatch us. But after they come, Father said, I send necessary moment, necessary personnel to oversee. This is a Father's philosophy. Not unnecessary person sent to the world, but necessary person, really need person sent to other place. This is a Father's philosophy and for the development. And the Father also said, you are heavenly missionary, emissary mission. Really, I felt anyway, we are the emissary, externally, like a businessman. At the beginning, anyway, almost all country was, refused or kicked out. For example, our West Africa, many countries was kicked, like Cassie Rignis, the there's Ivory Coast, like Benin. Yeah, she was also kicked out, and that's why she moved to Ivory Coast, and all other surrounding country is kicked out. So my mission country also to try to be kicked out, but we have a good contact with the secretary of the state. So by this minimum, we can stay, but we cannot do our mission. So I changed to like a journalist of Sekai Nippo, and American and German become a businessman. The American is a Jews, and he started to open a restaurant. Try to make restaurant, and they go to pizza and ice cream and door-to-door selling. And I contact now to VIP, utilize this occasion as a journalist. I met Cardinal at the time. Africa only 10 cardinal. One of the 10 cardinal was Burkina Faso. I met 10 cardinal, make interview. The name is Paul Zongorana. He passed away. And also make former founding president also make interview, because there's a soon election. And just utilize that occasion, I met many VIPs. So you try to, number 4, you try to witness one person minimum, and okay. Number 5, I see the, okay. Like this. Sorry. Now, important point is, we are young member. Anyway, logically we study, and intellectually we understand divine principle. But in reality, if we go to the field, that doesn't work. Divine principle doesn't work. Nothing coming. Yeah, direct, no help. So important point from long point of view, what I understand is we are dispatched there to find out God, find out divine principle, and find out true parents, find out myself. This is true meaning of missionary. Yeah. Why we go to Africa, desert country? Why we go to Siberia? Why we go to the the isolated Oceania nation? To find out myself, find out true parents, find out God, find out divine principle. If just only stay Japan, or stay only your own countries, you never ever, like only small, okay, maybe, but you go to completely overseas, completely, nothing related with your own character, your own culture, civilization, is necessary, completely cut off. You can be because at the time there's no electricity, there's no internet. So how to communicate? Only letter. Yeah, because telephone is too expensive. We don't have money. Only small, only $300 each we supported each month. And we must, minimize life, and we can, focus spirituality. My main point is, I pray a lot, because without prayer cannot continue, like no energy, spiritual no energy, That's why, since I'm in Japan, I enter the prayer room, so-called in Japanese, oineri, like a half sleep, half pray, situation. And I stay one hour, 2 hour, and the more something, I made a lot before I start mission in Africa, even I go to Africa, so just naturalize something, energy coming, spiritual energy, and God guiding. I think, so directly no help. So I don't understand. But somebody I met, I think, oh, this is a good person. And that person become a president later. Amazingly. Those things are happening. Just not me. God is behind. God is behind and working. So by this we can understand, just of God. Why I am in Japan, any cult member, I'm among many, so I don't feel something. But if you go to the mission field, I am just only one person who know divine principle. So I'm obliged to be true parents representative. Even, I don't know so much divine principle anyway, my life is not so great. My way of thinking is not so great. But anyway, God obliged to utilize me as his representative. That's why my position, because very high position, I cannot treat myself by my former way of thinking, but I must treat myself as God's representative, God's emissaries. Then this is, at the beginning, I didn't understand, but when I meet person, become a president, always high level person, not myself choose, but, by chance what I meet, person is a really great thing happening. Through this, I understand that God is working through me. So they understand, I'm a position of Samuel, put on. But if Samuel think like Saul didn't follow God completely, and just shifting to the David, same token, this guy become a president, but he's not so good, not so fit. When I think like this, and this person change, some coup d'etat or something change, and some change to it. Not just me, So I really understand. Really, God is working through me. So I'm not me. So world missionary is really God's representative, true parents representative, and this is a holy position, holy mission. That's why I insist young people, it's better go to the foreign countries, go to the mission field. Yeah, not together with other people. Alone is better. Yeah, in alone, you can meet God. Not real God, but the later we find, that was God in such a way. For example, also in the even one time become communist regime, amazingly, coup d'etat happened, and we shift our member to the overseas, for more safety place, because the frontier is closed, and otherwise they were killed. Some of our member become a soldier, and he was, something in the front line, sent to front line and killed. Anyway, so we're really in such a life or death level moment. But who become president is before he come to church, and somebody, a member, teach him like a guitar, and also he asking some liberation of some spirit, because our member is some open spirit, and this person become president, and we gave him. He has a divine principle. So communist, socialist communist leader sometimes utilize divine principle passage in his speech. Amazingly, after he become a president, he want to be priest first, but he asked to the Vatican. There's no satisfactory answer from them. So they completely changed the direction to the communist. And after he became a president, he went to the North Korea, met Kim Il-sung, and also the Cuba Castro, and go to go to Russia and Brezhnev, and like this, and also come to the Libya Gaddafi. He has a face to the communist face, to meet such a but after he was assassinated, killed by the second position person. But this person who welcome true parents. So through true parents visit, then we can understand, the end of my mission, Father visited my mission country, almost 20 years, by this really, Father watching and looking, even didn't come, Father sent us and cultivate, then now honor, Father finally arrived to meet President. By this, we understand in Burkina Faso, and also Marshall Island. And the condition of Japan visit mission nation, before father visit, very hard. For example, the Burkina Faso, we did, my wife and the staff, another German missionary and other staff member make 1,000-day prayer condition at holy ground. Yeah, there's a, the same name of word Boulogne, forest of Boulogne, like a same name of Paris, And we went there, the holy ground, and 1,000 day we make Johnson condition prayer. And just father come a few months before, I become a serious typhoid epidemic, like bony and high fever and very difficult situation, right? What death level. Then father came. Same as Marshall Island. Before father come, we have 3 years special condition of the IIFWP. We send many VIPs together and the missionaries, and we exchange program with the VIPs, the minister's wife together, and also many conditions, then father come. And at the time also before I become a dengue fever, serious dengue fever, life or death. So the father come to country is not easy. Anyway, father is really, without this kind of condition, true parents cannot come. What I understood. Now the Burkina Faso mission, 29 years mission finished. And I met all the present, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the present, what I met substantially. So this is a, 3 missionary, the Charles Clemens from California. He was 21 years old. I'm a only breast couple, 26 years old. And Catherine Bumbus, Catherine Plan, actually she lives in France, is a national messiah of Iran. At the time, she was just 19 years old. Her father was a German soldier of Hitler. And her mother is Parisian. When German occupied France, picked up her mother. Interesting. Charles at the time, very young, but he was a former hippie, and he has many talent, like he's a Jew. Yeah. So this is a first met through. Anyway, this is the 1979. Sorry, still time. 1979. After 4 years, I need to report to the Reverend Clark first, World Mission Department Director. So I was permitted to go to New York for the first time. Then Mr. Yoshida, who just recently passed away, was a secretary of this, and he brought me. I asked him, "Can I see Father?" I asked, "Oh, Father, I have a chance to see Father." "Yeah, maybe go to the theological seminary, And he drive me to the Hudson River. "Oh, Father's car is there." And Father was in the bank of Hudson River, sitting on the stone with true mother. And surrounding was a seminar student. Then when I'm waiting, Father is now just coming up from the river and try to the bank where there's a car. Father is alone. I saw Father and I follow Father for the first time. I don't know why. I call Father. Father, try to see, but an unknown person. So again, I say, Father, I call Father second time, And I am a missionary to the Africa like this. And the Father said, ask him, you learn a lot, isn't it? Like this, You learn a lot there, do you? Did you? I said, yes. That's all. That's all. And after then, now David came, at the time, the president of theological seminary, David came, officially introduced me to father. So now father officially introduced, at the time I met fathers not officially, and father something, mother talked with father together, and father something calculate and give me money, $600 by left hand, and saying that by this, and you must buy suits, and that you make like a missionary, buy suits, you wear a missionary like this. So I understand, our father is a really principled person. Why using left hand? This is a officially unnecessary expensive. So, or using official and not official, so using left hand, and when official introduction through the David Kim, now treat me official way like this. But this means this is for the first time I met father directly and accidentally. Amazing. This is I just talked about the digging well. Burkina Faso was no water after 50 meters, and we make this pump. Even still they were using. Yeah, my wife and my sons there. I'm there at the time. This is the first IW came, and he brought us for the refrigerator. At the time very hot, but we don't have anything. This is make donation, IRF donation, and every time this digging well also make donation. We never ever receive through mother or somebody outside money. All from produced by us, our fundraising. Yeah, our fundraising, we produce this money and we make this donation, medical donation, and digging well. And my wife especially, even she was a cancer at the time, and just as the operation, very skinny, but she did a lot of work. And she became Women's Federation World and National Tour, 30 cities made a speech tour through mother's speech. Because through mother said, I cannot visit all the country, but you can do on behalf of me. That's why my wife made, while I was in Russia, my wife made a speech tour by French, and my sons, correct. Every city, there's like 2,000, 3,000 people, governor or mayor, high-level people. So this is a final, my final mission. I'm at the time very fortunate, two parents visit finally and met president. This is amazingly, fathers hit the table. When father's speech finished, mother speaking and the Rev Kenichi speaking, and the president are very happy, like more and more, like kids. But this person is a former president and coup d'etat become president. Usually fearsome person, but father is really, even he hit his stomach. You must have a guts. You are young like this. After he became a president of OUA, very influential person. And the father speak to the member by hitting African's head. Africa, one man, one woman, because Africa has polygamy, one man, many women. Father hit head, one man, one woman. And this is a recent few years ago, and our current Burkina Faso president, had an economical exposition in Japan for Africa exposition in Yokohama. So my first son, he has a company, and my Kenmei and last son together met. He doubted me because I speak some African language. Oh, you really? He not believe me. So this is HTM in my former mission countries. After 20 years, my son was not yet born, this country. So it was a very exciting. So just, for example, just second generation, I made his name. He said he wanted to see those who gave his name. He is very excited. Yeah. So this is amazing. Burkina Faso is here. and the Kamchatka, Russia is here, and vertical, horizontally, a meeting place is Marshall Island. I really understand. Wow, God make joke like this. This is the Africa. This is Kamchatka, Russia. This is Marshall Island. Sorry, I tried to finish. This is a big, marine. We get, 417 pounds together with Dr. Kim. This is the KZ Note and Christopher Royak, former president. This is a Cash Riguni, where I work together with Africa in the Kamara together. This is my first spiritual son. He's now president of IAPD in Brazil. Yeah, this is my first spiritual son. Okay, this is we have a 4-generation family together and make Sunday service always. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So much, so long, and
That's all right. Need to end the slideshow. Yes. Why isn't it? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
No time.
A very long, but very good. Thank you for sharing your experience about everything that happened around your mission and your life of faith, and showing how that one thing you mentioned that caught me was that you had no help. You're on your own by yourself, and the realization is you went there because that's exactly God's situation. God has no help, and God is even worse. God is in prison, and that's why we have to liberate God. And that thought to me, that God is in prison. So we ask for God's help. How can we ask for God's help when God is in prison? Imagine going to a prison and there's someone behind bars and says, "I need you to help me," and there's no way. We have to help God first. We have to free God. We have to liberate God. We have to enable God to move. Then we can see principle in action. We can see. So we have to make the sacrifice because God has already been imprisoned because of our ignorance, in essence. So we don't really have time because we've come to already time's up, and we're very grateful to Reverend Ito for sharing his story and his life, and can deeply understand and see how God is working with things around. And that's why we say God works in mysterious ways, because he has to take so many things and make them turn into something good. It's really we can see God working when we listen to your story. So thank you, Reverend Ito, and thank you for everyone who is here. And I will now share the screen so we can offer our unison prayer together. So thank you. Let's begin. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Rev Ito, today.
Yeah, thank you for your testimony. God bless.
どうぞありがとうございます。今日は
reminding me of
どういたしまして。Bonjour, bonsoir, ça va? Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça ira? Buongiorno.
Ouais, ça va?
Ça va bien.
Oui, ça va.
Bye bye.
Bonne journée.
Have a blessed day.